Hello everyone, Ragnarok here, and I'm here to make a farming guide for you guys around gold. Now, the reason why I'm making a gold farming guide now is, if you didn't know, the event is ending soon. We only got about, I'd say, 1.5 weeks left of this event, and you know, there's a lot of things that are in the event store that is quite expensive, such as Dia, Dimac, Igor. Not exactly an amazing hero, but if you want to get everything like I do, you need the gold. Bloodfinder AC, Couple Last Word, we're getting Ghost Pistol next week, and Quick Draw Calamity, and of course the Slayer if you haven't gotten it. Plus, if you didn't know the gold farming method, this is useful knowledge for everyone, because naturally every single week you want to try to at least get all the legendary flux, or at least I do, along with the storm shards, Eye of the Storms, Lightning in a Bottle, and Pure Trust and Rain. Of course, there's also the perk up materials and reperk, but basically we need gold. That's the gist of it, and it's not always the easiest thing to get. Especially as we just came off Cram Session, and Cram Session gave us a lot of gold, and now we can't get that much anymore. So I need to make sure that people are aware of this method. If more people are aware of this method, then that means that we can get even more gold, as we can get even more players. But for now, I actually have to make private groups. If you don't know, I actually run a social group for Fortnite Save the World, and that's how I get my groups to get the gold that I need. But I don't get as much gold as I would like to get each day, because everyone has their own schedules, but you know, it's just normal stuff. Anyway, the method that I'll be going over today is method to maximize your gold. I want to say this before I begin. A lot of people have been talking about, I'll address the two methods that people know about so far. First method is joining in home bases by going to play with others and selecting custom play to try to get into storm shield defenses to get the mini llamas, which in turn give you gold. You can get, I think, 50 from the first one, and up to 130 if you hit a silver one. But the thing with this method is it's not really practical. It takes a lot of waiting. Like, you're not guaranteed to get in a storm shield defense, and it takes a very long time to continually cycle through this, when in that time you could have probably finished other missions. The other method, which I saw other Say the World YouTubers look at, was encampments. Because of how fast you can finish the mission, you can finish it about 10 minutes per encampment. You can get the base gold reward, which is anywhere from, well, I'm gonna use Twine's numbers as it'll be the easiest, but if you finish and destroy the encampments in 100 zone, you get about 130 gold, which is pretty decent. 10 minutes every every 10 minutes you get 130 gold. It's pretty good. But the method I'll be talking about, you can actually get even more gold than that. However, with this method, you actually need to find groups, and now this might not be the easiest task for some people, as they don't have friends to play with. This is where I wanted to bring traction to the play together. So if you don't know, I'm just putting the visual up on screen. If you don't have any groups to play with, please go to the Epic forums, go to the play together section, and under Save the World, you can make posts or look for other people's posts and play together. Make some friends, make some people you want to play with. You don't have to talk with them in voice comms. Just make sure you actually have some friends you want to play with, and then you can get stuff like this done as well. Just add fun people that you play with, fun people that you talk to with chat. And it's just that simple. Always expand your friends list so you can get people to add to your groups. You can also use the official Save the World Discords or any of the custom Discords. They also offer group searching functionalities, so you can find groups that actually want to farm gold as well. Also, don't forget to share this video if you do like the method, because the more people that know about this, the more people that will actually farm this, and you can get more and more groups to do this with. So let's get started. What is this so-called maximized gold method you speak of? Okay, so this method isn't actually single mission specific. It can be, and there's definitely more efficient ways of doing it, but the easiest way to think of this is to break up gold into the groups. So what are the methods we can get gold? First method is the easiest method from killing an epic mini boss. You get the quest, you finish it, you get 50 gold for killing an epic mini. The next method is from just finishing a mission. Every mission gives you gold. So the higher power level mission you have, the more gold you will get as a result. The method after that a lot of people have forgotten about is the difficulty pylons. Now, the difficulty pylons, a lot of people have undervalued. Depending on which power level you are, it does actually matter. It changes the amount of gold that you get, but for the purposes of this video, I'll be using power level 100 mission as an example. But you have to keep in mind that the scaling on this would be the same for every single mission. So for example, even though I will get much more gold for doing this power level 100 mission, if you are only in Canny, you will get less gold, but you will still be getting more gold anyway, if that makes sense. So I'm going to hop into a mission real quick, and I'm going to go up to a difficulty pylon, and I'm going to show you how much gold you actually get from these pylons. So naturally with this method as well, it requires a little bit of teamwork, as you have to go around and actually pick up the blue glue you need. Depending on the group, you can decide how much blue glue you will need, because you also need it to start the objective, don't forget that. Okay, so I just collected all the blue glue that I needed to up the difficulty pylon to maximum. I believe it's 8. I'm gonna look really dumb otherwise, but in any case. So as you can see here, on the increased difficulty, just upping the difficulty even 1 just gives you nets you an extra 50 gold, which is the same amount as killing a second mini-boss. So, if there's anything to take away from this video, it's just to at least up the difficulty a little bit. But, I want to talk about maximizing it entirely. So this is absolutely 100% slower than doing encampments. There's no doubt about that. But you have to keep in mind, in encampments, you cannot fight an epic mini-boss. So, you also lose an extra 50 gold that you otherwise would have gained. So this method, you can actually end up with getting 300 gold total, but I don't recommend actually going all the way unless you have a really high leveled group. And that is because increased difficulty does actually get pretty tough when you increase the difficulty, as you would expect. The higher the difficulty, the more mist monsters spawn, which can be quite difficult, as you will get a bunch of smashes, and if you don't have a proper setup, it can get quite overwhelming and you can lose very easily. Naturally, you want to try to get used to the difficulty, as losing does effectively lose you time that you could have otherwise been gaining gold. Okay, so here we have 1 blue glow equals 50 gold. Next we have 2 blue glow equals 73 gold. 3 blue glow equals 90 gold. And then you can keep doing this. Another 3 equals 101, and another 3 after that will equal roughly 120. You do need quite an extensive amount of blue glue for this method, so as I recommended at the beginning, unless you have an organized group that's going around and collecting this blue glue, you have to keep in mind I gathered all of this blue glue by myself. I got about 8, and that took me about, I'd say, 2-3 minutes to get. But if you have a full group, it actually is quite easy to get the amount of blue glue that you need. I always recommend having one person building while everyone's getting the blue glue, but as I said, whatever works for you. Just decide what works, but this is definitely the method that you want in order to get the most gold possible. So let's say that I did max this out and I had the full 120 gold. It would be quite a difficult fight. A lot of mini-bosses will spawn, and because this is a power level 100 mission, the gold that you get here is the maximum amount that you can get. The further down the power level, you don't get as much gold, but you still get more gold. You get, I'd say it drops off about, I'd say each difficulty it drops off about 3 gold, so if I was doing this at power 76, I would only be getting about 40 gold per level up, and then I would probably end out at about 100 gold. I also recommend that you select a mission that is somewhat below average of your power level. So for example, I'm power level 111 currently. So if I wanted to do this method in a group, I'd preferably select a mission in the lower twine area. So even if I up the difficulty to 4++, the enemies would be roughly equivalent to my level. Know the boundaries of your group, and that's how much gold you can get. For this method to be most effective, you preferably want to stay from mutant storms, as the mutations do either make the mission harder or easier. But the requirements that you're looking for is an epic mini-boss on a mission that has a blue glow siphon. So the missions that have a blue glow siphon are deliver the bomb, fight the storm, ride the lightning, retrieve the data, repair the shelter, and I think evacuate the shelter has one as well, but I'm not entirely sure. But I would never recommend doing evacuate the shelter in the first place, so if you want to know for that, you can go get the data for that. I would assume evacuate has it, but I wouldn't know. So once again, that is the gold that you get from the base mission, plus the gold that you get from upping the difficulty, plus the gold that you get from the epic mini-boss. That is the highest gold yield that you can get. However, time actually does deduct, as you need to get the blue glow to up the difficulty in the first place, so always keep that in mind. I do consider this method much more reliable than encampments, as encampments can take quite some time even by yourself. Encampments require a certain amount of RNG to make sure that the encampments line up properly. If they don't, you can end up taking 18 minutes or even the full mission time before you even finish. Thank you all for watching. This is the method that I recommend for farming gold. If you have any criticisms or any suggestions, or if you know about a method that I don't, feel free to let me know. I honestly consider this method way more effective than both encampments and storm shield defenses. However, it's completely reliant on you being able to find a group. And that's why I said make sure you use the Epic forums, go to play together, and make sure that you look for groups that you can play with. Feel free to follow me on Twitch as well. I also stream Fortnite Save the World, and if you want to farm gold with me on stream, you are completely welcome to do that. Also, you can join my Discord and find other like-minded people that want to farm gold as well. Thank you all for watching. That'll be it for me. Ragnarok, over and out.